Hello there, it's Birdie here, the Recycled Hippie Chick. I'm mad, but I'm gonna video anyway. I tried to shoot my thing over on the TV screen, and for some reason, it's not letting me do it. So I have to stand up every 5 seconds to see if I'm in screen. So here we go. Okay, I have got so much building up that I've been wanting to show you that I thought, I can't even create today until I do a video and show you what I've been doing so I can put it away. I made a master board since I saw you last. I've been trying to get rid of some of my scraps in my little box, and every once in a while, like here's some here, I'll run across a little image or cut an image out of a storybook or something, and I'll lay it over to the side like this, like I've already started another pile. And then it just stacks up, and I'm like, what am I going to do with all these? So I thought, well, let's make a master board and just use everything on our table. All these little pictures that I had laying out. I said, let's just use them on a master board and go on with it. I can stick the master board away, and then when I need it, I can pull it out. I've already got a couple saved up from times gone by, I noticed. So there's a master board ready to go for tags or cards or whatever. Then I've got to stop going into the bathroom because I've got all kinds of these magazines in my bathroom, and I just go through and look at this. I just start harvesting stuff out of them. So the other day I went in the bathroom and I pulled these pictures out of these little girls. I thought they were adorable. These gave me inspiration. I thought, well, I'm going to save these so that I'll have them for inspiration if I want to make tags or something. I thought I could tear this up and use it in collage. And then I saw this girl's dress. And I thought, oh, that dress is just so adorable how they printed that. So I decided to get me some book page and just do me some little red flowers from this inspiration. And can you even see all this? See, if I was looking on my TV, I would be able to, see, if you could see it. Anyway, I made these little, I'm going to call them fodder pages, because to me, fodder is pages that you make that you can use for other things later. That's the definition of fodder in my mind. So there's that. I made me a tag out of, scraps I had on my table. I made me another fodder page with just, what I did with this one? Helen from Moss Cottage gave me these watercolor pencils. And I'm just dipping them in water while I was watching a movie on the TV, and I just dipped them in water and scribbled and came up with this page. And then I just did some stamping on it and thought, well, we'll use this for something. And then I get some beautiful mail, happy mail from Christina at Christina Shack. Look, they're gum nut babies. Let me see if I can show you. They're gum nut babies. Aren't they adorable? They remind me of Kewpie dolls. My mom used to collect Kewpie dolls. And when I saw Christina using the gum nut baby stuff, this is what's funny, is the same day I got these in the mail, I had gone out and picked some willow tree leaves. I thought I better get some before everything falls off for the fall. I wanted to sloppy sew these on a tag or something. And I thought, look, isn't this brilliant? Whatever page I put this on, I'm going to sew these onto it. So thank you, Christina. These are very special. Now, she also gave me these beautiful ribbons with gum nut babies on them. And I've already been using them. I put one of them, I had these little playing cards So I put some gum, a piece of the ribbon on there with some little jewels. This will be a tiny little card for something down the line. I don't know if you can see this, but look at those little gum nut babies on there. So I'll use these. I think I'm going to use these in, I'm going to make a tiny fairy journal and put those in there because they're precious. I'm going to put these in my big fairy journal because to me, gum nut babies can go hand in hand with fairies, I think. So then let's just move on over to the fairy journal because some other things Christina gave me I have already put in. Now I have to scoot out because this book is so big. These are things I have not put in yet. I was going to go through this Flip Through Friday. I was going to do this in my fall journal with Flip Through Friday the other day, but I just didn't feel very good, so nothing got done. But I think I've already flipped through this anyway with y'all. I don't think I've done anything except for my Christina pages in here since I've showed you. Maybe I've glued in some of my Happy Mail from Deb in here. That's from Deb. This is a pocket. I need to come up with something cute to put in there, but I will. I haven't sewn this in yet because I want to put some ruffles and tabs, and I just want to make sure I've got everything in it that I don't need to sew before I bind it together. Look at this. So let me tell you this story. Well, first of all, I've done this page since I talked to you guys with that cute little picture that Deb gave me. I call him a pixie. So I was working in my fall journal and I thought this pumpkin almost put this in my insect journal. I don't know if you can see all the bugs on here. There's just insects everywhere. And I thought it was adorable. So I almost put this in my insect journal, and then I said, no, put it in your fall journal. Well, it was too wide to fit in my fall journal. So I said, well, you know what? The fairies could live in there. So I put it in my fairy journal, and then Christina sent me some gum. They're gum nut babies. I don't know why I want to call them gumdrop babies. She sent me the gum nut babies, and I put them on this velvety piece of material and made a pocket out of it with some more gum nut babies holding onto a koala. And on the back, I said, I love these. It reminds me of my mom's Kewpie dolls, gum nut babies from Christina. So I decided that these gum nut babies can live in that pumpkin. So that's their house. I put that together. I had a roll. I made a roll with, I don't have it just laying here, do I? No, yes I do. I made a roll. I think I made this when I was watching Maria over at Whimsical Gardens Art Studio. And so I just made this roll of, what do you call this? Snippet roll. And so I cut some of it off and used it over here for a ruffle. And then I saw this lady on the internet. She had glued this pretty hanky on a page and had used it as a pocket. And I had this, I use hankies. And I don't know if you can see because it's worn so thin that you see this ink behind it. But it's Jack and the Beanstalk. And I thought, that's kind of a fairy thing because Jack was tiny and the giant was big. And it's just kind of whimsical, like fairy story. So I thought, I'm going to glue that on this page because I used it until it was so thin. I was afraid I was going to rip it if I used it anymore. But I didn't want to tear it up because I love the picture on it. So I just glued it on here. And I will find some cute fairy pictures or pages or write and journal and stick it in there. So I thought that was cute. A nice way to display your pretty hanky that you don't want to tear up. And I have added a little trim here since I've shown you guys. I don't think, oh, I added some Gum Nut Baby. This was another ribbon that she gave me, and I cut it in half and sandwiched it on here like a tab. I just thought the colors of the parrot went well with the colors on this background page. Christina, I really appreciate it. I need to make that a priority, that I sit down and make everybody some happy mail. This is another one that I made. I just made it as I put it on here. I just sewed it all on, you know, as I was putting it on. Does that make sense? I glued the lace on, and then I just started putting scraps of stuff on as I sewed it on. I didn't already have it made. Anyway, I think that's all I've got done in this book since I have talked to you last. And there's another picture from Deb that I did. Another picture from Deb. The wonderful thing about already having your background pages done is when you get a pretty picture, you can just put it on there. It's so handy. There's times when I just don't feel anything, you know, when I just don't have it in me to come up with anything creative, and I just want to glue things on the background pages that already exist. So that's what I do. So that is the fairy journal. Now I'm getting ready to put my fall journal away for this year. I've used all my fall images. What I do is, you know, when I'm in the bathroom harvesting a book, I bring my pictures in here, and if I've already got a journal started, then I will take those images, like anything that could be fall, and I just stick them down in the front cover. So when I pull a journal out, it's already got some stuff I want to add to it in the front journal, in the front cover. So I went through it this year and put all of my pictures together except one. Where's it at? I just have one picture that I found that is too wide. So I'm going to make me another fall journal for next year, and I'll put this in the front cover of it. I'm going to make sure I make it at least this wide so that picture can go in it. So I'll just run through this and show you a flip through Friday on Tuesday. This is my second year I've been working in this, so it's almost complete. See, some things I've just started. Just wanted to use up what I had, and then I'll add to it later. See, I could still put a focal point on here if I wanted to. This one is just, you know, I liked seeing my eco print, so I didn't want to cover all that up. He could have gone in my fairy journal, Little Pixie, but he can also go in the fall journal. This is not done, but it's started. I could put things above it and below it. This is a clip-in paper clip that holds this envelope. It has this beautiful dyed paper in it that I accidentally did. What it is that grid paper with the green ink. And when I coffee dyed it, the green ink ran and made these beautiful markings. So I didn't even want to write on it. I don't even know what I have in here. Honestly, I don't think I made this. I think maybe somebody sent this to me in Happy Mail because, oh yeah, Arlene, you did in 2023. Because I did not remember putting that together. Thank you, Arlene. This is a little flip out full of pockets. Look at that. That was a happy little surprise. 2 years later, seeing it again. Thank you, Arlene. I love you more than you know. We never get to hardly talk to each other, but I do love you. Oh, this is a little card. Look at that. Pileated woodpecker. Isn't that adorable? I learned how to do these watching Janet Nash a few years ago, making pockets out of magazines. It was really fun. Now see, I could put a focal point on that, but I'm just going to find something small, like maybe a little squirrel or something, because I love that image. I don't want to cover it up. I like that image. Didn't want to cover it up. God is my rock and my salvation. I am not done here. I want to put a focal over here with some of this washi tape. I thought this washi tape would go good over there, so I just stuck it in there, and that's from Fawn. Thank you, Fawn. Spotted Fawn. Just images that I like. You know, I find a precious little image. Just put it in your little pocket. Gives you something to look at when you're old and sitting in the nursing home. I'm in here, Milk. Poor gal. She's getting so old, she gets lost. I'm in here, Milk. I'm in here. Hi. She just wanders around going, is anybody here? My cat. She's 13. This was an envelope from Ricky Tikki Tavi a few years ago with Happy Mail in it, and I just kept the envelope and dolled it up. It's a flip out with an envelope here. You can put different little tags and stuff in. Carol, recrafted by Carol. She is just a pro at flippy flappies. She is just magnificent at it. This is the other side of that. I just did some journaling on the back. This is the other side of that mailer envelope. So that gives me 2 pockets. Well, of course, we got to do naked gardening when the leaves fall, right? Here's a little page I can do some journaling on. I didn't. Here, it kind of looked like an E. This was an old broken chain link when I did this rust dyeing. And I think it kind of looks like an E, which is, you know, my last name is Emond. So I thought that was kind of cute. I just sprayed some ink on a doily. Eco paper. Have not done anything on that yet. squirrel that could have gone in my squirrel book, but this is a, what's her name? What's that lady's name? Holden? Well, anyway, I don't remember her name, but this is one of the books out of her, pages out of her book, and it looked fall, so I wanted to put it in here. Edith Holden. I remember, it's just slow. This is Deb's envelope that I turned into a pocket. I still have not found my Happy Mail book yet, which upsets me because I just saw it not too long ago. And I have no idea why I would have taken it out of my cupboard. Okay, that's my fall journal. I have handmade beads on here that I made and old jewelry that I've torn apart. Made dingle dangles. This is a stick that I liked, and I just wrapped it with leather and glued it on. Whoops, I'm up too close. I'm sorry. And this is a wheat, because I live in Kansas and it's fall. It's a wheat pin from old jewelry. Okay, that's done. Now, what else have I been up to? I have been slow stitching. On my down days, I just don't even get out of my chair. So I keep all kinds of slow stitching in there. I have literally slow stitched an entire dresser drawer full of these junk journal covers that I need to get some signatures in and put them on my Etsy store because I'm not going to use them all. I just do it for something to do. So this one has Dingle Dangle on it. And I've just put beads and trinkets and, you know, buttons, and I just slow stitch. The inside is an old shirt and an old pillow that I have. KK, do you recognize this pillow? This used to be your pillow, just this material. And I turned it into a pocket because the zipper broke and it wasn't staying shut. So I love the material, and it has come into the art room to be crafty now. Why am I not zooming? There we go. Okay. These are just empty signatures that I've put in here from scraps papers. And look, this is a 1934 envelope and old painty papers and just, you know, scrap paper. Old book pages, somebody's handwriting, cursive. We know that's not from today. And old wallpaper. This is just all an old children's book that's in here. And this is my back page. This was a shirt that was made out of a tablecloth. So first it was a tablecloth. Then my friend Terrell made it into a shirt. And then I've torn it up and made it into a book cover. This was KK's pillow. And now it is my pocket. So I am going to finish adding some other pockets and different things to this, and that'll go in my Etsy shop. I've got an entire drawer full of stuff that I need to go through. Here's one here I just finished, and I'm going to fill it up. This is from Christina, Little Butterfly. She gave me a whole handful of them. I've been adding them into my slow stitching. And this was an old table runner, or what do you call it? Table skirt, hand embroidered, and an old lace off of another pillow. And I will put a signature, 3 signatures in that, and get rid of it on my Etsy store. And I finished a glue book. And then I think we'll be done for today. I just like to take a pretty magazine and just glue pictures that I like when I'm in the bathroom. And I harvest a magazine and I just like the pictures. So I just put the pictures in my magazine. I might like the colors. I might like the pictures. This I've kind of gotten into. I don't know what book this is. I think it might be Better Homes and Gardens. But it seems like in every magazine, they put these lids with a different color palette of paint on them. I noticed when I was going through my folder of images, I tear them out of every magazine. So this book has one of these on every page. Aren't they cute? They also give me inspiration that I can look in here and get ideas of what colors would go good together if I want to play in a book and want to think of some colors. Put little tabs on the outside. I like the colors, the paint. I don't know what draws me to it. They're just cool. I don't know. And then I just put the pictures that I think are pretty on the other page. How fun would that be? To have a little garden party with 2 or 3 friends. You sit and eat watermelon in your beautiful garden and just enjoy each other. Oh, I'd be a freaked out mess having somebody over, but it would be fun in some other world. Aren't those pretty pink colors? I left this one. I only glued it in the middle because I think I want to put something around the outside, so I left it so I could tuck, other colors in behind it or paint it or whatever. Doesn't that look yummy? Looks like good chocolate. That old typewriter. Look at this image of this guy standing there in his beautiful doorway. My dream body. A body that you could see your muscles. Oh, and you don't have the fat hanging over your belly. Oh, this is the perfect body in my world. And I even like her hair. Love her hair. So yeah, there's Amy Wannabe. I'm not coveting. I just said it's cute. And then the last page says, away is where you never have to leave anyone behind. RVing. Anyway, that's the end. That's what I've been doing. Now I can put all this stuff up. What I think I'm going to do is these things, I think I'm going to take a tag and put a bulb pin at the top and let the tag hang off. And the tag is going to say complete. So when I look in my cupboard with all of my books, I can see which ones are complete and which ones I could still work in. Yeah, we'll see if that happens. Okay? Anyway, that's what I've been up to. And I'm glad you guys stopped by to join me. And I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye from Birdie.